Did you know that using the wrong hook and sinker could cost you the catch of the day? Don't you worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which hook and sinker you'll need for every situation. Today we'll be breaking down the essential fishing gear that every beginner angler or angler in general needs to know about. From choosing the right hooks to selecting the right sinkers for any type of water. Whether you're new to fishing or you're just willing to up in your game. And this guide will help you reel in success. So if you're passionate about fishing or just getting started, hit that subscribe button for more tips like these. So now, let's start with fishing hooks. They are the most crucial part of your whole fishing setup. There are just so many different types of hooks, different numbers of hooks, different brands of hooks. Where to start? Different type of hooks for different type of fish. But understanding the basic anatomy of a hook, now that's something else. The eye, shank, point, barb, bend. Everything you need to know about hooks is just step one. For example, circle hooks. Great for catch and release. While treble hooks are great for snagging the big catch. But which one should you use? Here's a little known fact. Using the wrong hook size could lose you the catch before you even realize it. So let me explain why, and perhaps give you a mental visual on why hook shape and size matter so much. Let's just say, if you're using a small hook for this fella right here, what's gonna happen is your small hook is gonna hook into his lip. Because of his size and strength, all he has to do is just tug at it and it's gonna rip right out. But if by any chance this fella swallows the hook, and it's a small hook, you're gonna have one heck of a time trying to get that hook out of this guy without injuring it. If you're doing catch and release, that is. If you're planning on keeping it, well, at least do it the most humane way possible. While if you're trying to catch this little guy with a big hook, the only thing he's gonna do is nibble at the worm. You might feel like you have bites, but by the time you set that hook, that fish is gone. Well, if there was a fish. And if you by any chance do hook the fish, it's gonna do some serious damage. So ideally, this fish shouldn't be taking his hook, and the same way around. This fish shouldn't be taking his hook. So if you're planning on catching a smaller fish, use a smaller hook. Smaller fish require smaller hooks. But if you're planning on catching a big fish, use a bigger hook. Big fish require bigger hooks. Now let's talk about sinkers. There are just so many different types of sinkers, but which one to choose from? First of all, sinkers are not just dead weight. They're your secret weapon to control your bait's depth and stability. But there's different types. You have split shot sinkers, pyramid sinkers, diamond sinkers, bullet sinkers, egg sinkers. Each different sinker has its own role to play in its water. Each sinker are unique and have its own purpose. For example, Split shot sinkers are perfect for finesse fishing, high in delicacy and skill, while pyramid sinkers hold steady in stronger currents and waters. Don't get me wrong, you can use split shots in lakes, rivers, creeks, current, but it all depends on what type of fishing you're doing. But we'll get to that in another video. Now, let me explain to you which one does what. Pyramid sinkers, great for getting down and digging itself into sand or the bottom of the water to keep your bait at strike zone. Egg sinkers, great for using in calm waters if you're fishing at the bottom water fishing. It helps your line pass through it freely. Torpedo sinkers, drop shot sinkers, great for getting at the bottom of the water fast, especially in deeper water. Also great for if you just want to drop your bait right off the side of the boat. Bank sinkers, great for their stability in strong currents, and you can even fish them off slopey banks or riverbeds. Their streamlined design helps them avoid getting snagged or stuck in structures or rocky bottoms. It's great for fishing in reefs. And now, split shots. Great for creeks, lakes, or rivers, making it easier for you to keep your bait at the right depth that you want it to be, making it easy to remove weight or add weight depending what you want to do and where your fish are striking. But here's where it gets tricky. Did you know that using the wrong weight can either scare your fish away or leave your bait floating away out of reach of your fish's strike zone? So stick around and I'll tell you exactly how to choose your sinker for your environment. And if you stick with me to the end of the video, I'll share with you what I use when I go fishing. Oh, you're still here? Perfect. And now it's time to pair your hooks and sinkers for maximum success. So now that you know the basics of hooks and sinkers, let's talk about how to pair them together effectively. It's all in the balance. But before I continue, if you found this video helpful in any way so far, like and subscribe to this video for more content like these. And if you have, leave any question you have, and I will respond to you right away. In the same day, I'll either respond by message or by video on what your question is. And if there is any anglers out there watching this, please leave a comment below telling me what your tricks are too, or if there's anything you want me to cover in next videos to come. Now, where were we? Oh, right. Matching hooks and sinkers. Now, for example, if you're using a lightweight bait, you're going to need a smaller sinker, simply just to avoid it dragging down to the bottom way too fast. But for larger bait, especially in deeper water, a heavier sinker will keep your bait right at strike zone. Have you ever struggled keeping your bait at the right depth? If so, let me know in the comments. And also, what is your go-to setup for tricky waters? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're experienced anglers watching this, please let me know in the comments below what your tricks are. Now, before we wrap things up, there's just one more important thing that most anglers overlook when it comes to their gear. Don't miss this last tip if you want to maximize your chance in landing your trophy fish. So far we've covered how to pick the right hooks, different type of sinkers, and how to pick the right sinker, and how to pair the sinker and hooks together for maximum success. So if you get this balance right, you'll increase your chances of getting a great catch. And now it's time to put what you learned to practice. So the next time you're gearing up for your fishing trip, remember these tips. And if you found this video helpful in any way, don't forget, subscribe for more fishing tips and advice like these every week. But before I do go, I want to show you one more thing. I'm going to show you my setup. Now, I like to use a hook just like this. It's not too small and it's not too big. It's just perfect. You have a nice long shank to get your bait up there and let it hang off just a little bit to draw the attention of the bass you're trying to catch. Because you don't need to use all those fancy gears. All you need is the right hook and bait. I use a worm and I still catch bass. So this is where I go. And also I like this guy right here. This one right here has barbs on the back to keep your bait up and keeps it from sliding off. Because often you'll notice your bait will slide off. You have to refix it, slide down, refix it. Sometimes it ends up on the line somehow. But yeah, and as you can see, this hook is not too small either, and still has a decent sized shank and a nice looped bend, great for catch and release. Now I personally like to get my line far and out there. This is the sinker I use. It has a good weight to it, not too heavy. It'll get to the bottom, but even if there's current, it will go with the current and make its way to the bottom. But when I cast this sucker out there, it goes far. So if I want to get to deeper water from the docks or pier or land, this is what I use. So the next time you head out on the water, the right hook and sinker combo will make all the difference. This is Brandon, and you're watching Fishing Made Simple. Happy fishing and catch you later.